Good afternoon. Today we're going to be looking at creating a works cited, which is a necessary skill in any academic career, beginning now with high school and increasingly so as you go on to college or graduate work or any other academic pursuit in which you will be doing research, which is just more and more as you go up in academic pursuits. Research projects will be the majority of what you are completing, and a works cited is a necessary part of any project of a research nature, big or small. Oh, we're going to start out. What is a works cited? A works cited is a page at the end of an academic work which lists the sources referenced in the body of the paper. A bibliography is a list of all sources used in research, not only those which are referenced directly in the work. And the setup of both pages, however, is the same, so you can use the same setup when you are doing a bibliography, and it will be correct. So these are a works cited is going to have the publication information of anything you use in a paper. So if you quote a book, you will have that book in the works cited, and I'll show you how to set that all up. Um, if you use a website, if you use an interview, anything you use in a paper will go in the works cited. Why is it important? A works cited page is important for many reasons. Here are three of my top reasons why they are important. A works cited page gives credit to the authors of your sources. Without some form of citation, you will be guilty of plagiarism. So, unless you want to be guilty of stealing other people's work, you need to put a works cited or some form of citation, so that it doesn't appear that you just are trying to pass off this information as your own, as straight from your own head. A works cited page allows whomever is reading your work to research the topic further using the sources you provide. If you wrote an essay on therapy dogs and someone reading it was super interested, like, wow, this is great information, I want to read more about this, they could look at your sources and go read more there where you got your information. A works cited page also gives you credibility. If your readers do not know where you found your information, they will not take your writing seriously. So if you have no references for where you got from your information, you could just be blowing smoke and not know what you're what you're talking about. And so it'll give you credibility so that people will want to listen to you, want to read your writing, because it will be important. All right, so here's a basic setup. This is a book entry. This is the probably, I guess it used to be the most common, and you will probably be using mostly internet sources, which we'll talk about in a minute. But this is the basic setup for a works cited of a book entry. So you're going to have the last name, comma, first name, period, the title of the book underlined, or italicized if you prefer, place of publication, a colon, the publisher, comma, date, period. I always remember this because I actually learned it as a song in 7th grade, which made me at one point the only person in my college class who could remember how to do a bibliography off the top of my head. So, it's a useful song. Here we go. Excuse my singing. Last name, comma, first name, period, title of the book, underline the period, place of publication, colon and the publisher, comma, date, period, comma, date, period. And if you learn that, you will be the most popular person in any class during any writing period because you will know how to do a bibliographic entry and it will be very useful. And it's fun to sing it. All right, online sources are a little more complicated since the amount of publication information on websites varies and can be limited. Since online publication can cover such a gamut of different sources, a lot of times the information on there is limited. Sometimes you can't find an author, or it just appears to be a page floating in space. It doesn't really appear to come from anything. And so it can be difficult to cite those sources. Then again, if you can't find much publication information on a web page, it may indicate that it's not a very good source. So if you really can't find anything, it's just this page floating in space, you can't find the author, or you can find the author, but nothing else. It's not written for anything. It's just some random like post someone made on Facebook. That's a pretty extreme example, but it's just something you can't figure out what it comes from. It may not be a very good source, and you may not want to use that source because they don't have much credibility. Follow the format as closely as possible, providing however much of the information you can find. So if you're missing a piece or two of information, that is okay. Just don't put, just the URL. A lot of people will try to do that because, like, well, here's where you can find it, but it's just, it's inadequate and fairly unprofessional looking, just having these little lists of URLs at the end of essays. All right, the format for this, and I don't have a song for this one, I'm afraid. There's no fancy song for online formatting. It's going to be last name, comma, first name, period, of the author or editor. If there's both an author and an editor, you list the author first and then the editor. Same thing if there's a translator, author first, then translator. Title of the article in quotations. And then the title of the website, either italicized like this or underlined, because the article is going to be part of the website. The posting date, so if you can find what date it was posted, in the URL, without the http:// that's on every URL. You can take that part out. And the date accessed. And the date accessed is not required, but it's a really good idea because information can update on the internet. Oop! I went back. No. There we go. All right, so here's an example. I didn't go over my example on the last page, but that's okay. You can see that there. This is an article called Medieval Monsters Live On Today. It was on news.stanford.edu. It was by Amy Adams, and it was written February 1st, 2015, and there's the URL where I took the little beginning part off, and I accessed it on today, January 31st, 2019. I got my date wrong. That always happens in January. Well, so that's slightly a lie, but I didn't actually put a quote from it, so I guess we're okay. But it's 2019, I swear. All right. For other types of formats, so for sources that are not an online source or a physical book, such as an interview that you watch, or a journal article, such as an academic journal, which is written, but it's part of a bigger work, a magazine article, newspapers, anything like that, I would recommend going to Purdue OWL edu, or yeah, I think it's owl@purdue.edu. I might be wrong about that, but that website has lots of information about just any imaginable format you might need to use for any type of source. A quick note about Wikipedia, since it's a very commonly used source for when you're just doing basic research. Wikipedia is almost always the first thing to come up. Since Wikipedia can be edited by anyone, many teachers, including myself, will not accept Wikipedia as a source. However, Wikipedia is a great source for finding sources. Wikipedia is, of course, based on encyclopedia, and encyclopedias are also not often accepted as sources just because they have such a wide array of information, and it's considered just more basic information. It's the encyclopedia, it covers everything. You really don't usually quote them in academic works, but Wikipedia, especially since, I mean, anyone can edit a Wikipedia article. But it is great for finding sources because at the bottom of each article, sources are listed that were used in writing the Wikipedia entry. And I highly recommend using Wikipedia to get these sources. I'll show you here. This is from the bottom of a Wikipedia article on Letter from Birmingham Jail by Martin Luther King Jr., which we're reading in class. I scroll to the bottom, and then they have bibliography here and further reading, and all these sources are, so we have the essay canon by Lindsay Bloom, and then we have an article on Martin Luther King, Walker versus City of Birmingham, and the Letter from Birmingham Jail. Oh, that's actually not an article. That is these two works put together on a PDF and edited by David Benjamin Oppenheimer. And these are all going to be great sources. So I highly recommend using this, and you can use these hyperlinks to get to those other sources. All right, here's an example of a works cited page. I just used the two examples from earlier that I used for a book and an online publication. So just a few things. The works cited page is started on a new page at the end of your essay. So if your essay is 5 pages long, you will then start a 6th page, even if your 5th page only goes halfway down the page. Start a new page and put works cited at the top. And then they will be listed, the entries will be listed in alphabetical order. In this case, Chinua Achebe was, of course, alphabetically before Amy Adams, though not much. I got two A sources here. Alphabetical order, and a 5-space indent is used whenever one entry goes onto another line, since there are not any extra lines in between. It's double-spaced right now, because that's how the essay would be written, but how there's no extra space in between these two entries. So then this one, the medieval monsters live on today, which led onto a second line, I pressed enter and then added 5 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 punches of the space bar in order to continue on that entry. If it went onto a third line, it would only be the 5 spaces. It wouldn't be 5 more. It would just be that 5, those 5, and then a new source would start just flush with the beginning of the margin, like the top ones. All right, and that's it. Our little work on Works Cited. Here's my pet tax. I have Linus, whom I love very much and is very cute, and he wanted to say hello to you and say he's so proud of you for working on your Works Cited page. All right, I hope you have an excellent rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing your Works Cited pages on your mini research projects. Thank you. Goodbye.